This is the Hasselblad X2D II. Phenomenal camera, great color science, we know all that. But they actually have a secret weapon that will improve how you use this camera in a big way. Let's get on to talking about this. So what is this secret weapon? It's called Phocus Mobile 2 for iOS, iPad, iPhone. This is going to unlock a lot of new features. Android users, unfortunately, yeah, not quite yet, but hopefully it does come in the near future. Anyway, before we jump into this, I do want to let you know I am partnering with Hasselblad on a series of videos, including this one. So yes, I am working with them on this camera and lenses, and you'll be seeing more content, but I have been reviewing Hasselblad cameras and lenses since, man, the X1D, and it's always been out of my own passion because I love the system, I love what they're doing, and I've just love the image quality coming out of those camera systems, but I just want to let you know. The Phocus software on the desktop, obviously some people have some issues with, and I get it. It can be a little bit slow, but what they've done for mobile is radically different. Case in point, you know, there's a lot of talk about the IBIS, or the image stabilization out of this camera system, right? Up to 10 stops, but most probably don't ever see that coming out of it, because to unlock that feature, you have to use the Phocus Mobile 2 app. You have to sync your device with your camera system. And actually Hasselblad mentions this on their website, but it's kind of in small print. Because I believe, and I read this on Reddit, correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I believe the max that you can get out of any camera system is 6.5 stops. And then after that, you're kind of limited there. But if you can send your location and it knows where you're at in the world geographically and everything else, and all the latitude, longitude, you can unlock even more, and that's what this app does with this camera system. And I'll read you what it says on it because it's actually quite amazing here. Each time X2D II 100C connects to the Phocus Mobile 2, it obtains current latitude, longitude positions. Using location and compass information compensates for Earth's rotation effects on stabilization. We recommend connecting to Phocus Mobile 2 before shooting to help the stabilization system obtain latest geographic information. It's valid for 4 hours. So when location changes significantly, obtain new position information. Stabilization improvement has limits. The camera still needs to be held stably, of course. After extended use, rest the camera on a stable surface for a period for better stabilization performance. I mean, already Hasselblad has some of the best image stabilization in the marketplace, in my opinion, and this even improves it further. So if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can actually take advantage to get improved stabilization. But there's another feature that I think is really cool, especially if you want to take a series of photos throughout the day and you don't want to go back, sit down, and manually sync your photos. This setting that you turn on inside the app makes that, that process is no longer needed. So the next feature I want to talk about is called Street Shot Assistance. When you enable it in settings, it says, when enabled, Phocus Mobile 2 will keep running in the background and images will automatically download once being captured, only in HEIF, or however you say it, in JPEG images. And X1D II, CFV 250C are not supported, so it's only for the newer cameras, X2D, X2D II. So how does this work? You can save it in your system album on your phone, your photo albums, and whatever have you, right? So how does it work? You snap a shot, it's downloading like that. One after another, one after another, one after another. You can literally keep your phone in your pocket, in your bag, your iPad, whatever have you, and it's downloading those images, and then you can just edit it to your heart's content. Now, it's not the RAW file, but it's still a very high resolution HEIF or JPEG file. So when you're saving that file after you're done editing, by the way, the editing software in this, there's a ton of tools. I mean, from recovery to highlight shadows, you can do radial grades. I mean, you can do a ton of stuff inside of this here, right? You can do selective color. There's a lot of tools for editing. Here's the thing that maybe a lot of people don't talk about with this is that for these high resolution cameras like this, for 90% of the photos that we're taking out there, a JPEG or HEIF file, actually HEIF I would say is better than JPEG because of the better fidelity, is more than enough. You still have a lot of dynamic range to play within the file to edit it. And it's, smaller to keep on your storage because obviously storage is getting more expensive. And only use RAW when you really need RAW, because for most of what we're putting on social media, we're never going to maximize the capabilities of RAW unless you're really doing a hardcore edit and you need that extra dynamic range, that extra information. And then when you save it, you can do your framing, you can put a signature there if you want to do that. It's all there, but the Street Shot Assistant just makes it easier Now, let's say you want to download that RAW file. Low light, you've had to crank up the ISO, you want to get rid of some of that noise. But you're like, oh, they're going to drag it into Photoshop or Lightroom, or what am I going to do? In Focus 2 Mobile, they actually have you covered. Just want to jump in here real quick as I'm editing the video, and I discovered something that I didn't quite know about this app until now. So earlier today, I was taking photos with friends, and I wanted to do a screen record to show you how Street Shot Assistant was importing the images as I'm taking them. So then afterwards, we went to grab some dinner, powered off the camera, put it in my backpack, and then I noticed this pop-up on my iPhone. It says disconnected, connect for auto download. And there's a link button there. I'm like, okay, that's different. So I tap on the link, then all of a sudden I see this text at the bottom of the display saying waking up camera. I'm like, huh? But the camera's turned off. Then the Wi-Fi symbol or the notification, because you can join the Wi-Fi from the camera system. And lo and behold, I have access to all my images, RAW, JPEG, HEIF, however you want to say it, all here. But here's the funny thing. The camera is turned off. There's nothing on the display, nothing. I mean, if I press the power button here, you just see the battery symbol. That's it. It's not like on standby. But for whatever it's doing, or however it's doing it, it's literally, there's an internal power switch inside that allows you to access your images. Then, if you want to disconnect, you can disconnect and power off. This is nuts. I don't know about you, but I've never seen this on a camera app and a camera before. Maybe you have, I haven't, but this is extremely impressive. So let's talk about Hasselblad Natural Noise Reduction, HNNR as it's abbreviated inside the app. This is amazing, and it's coming out of a mobile app. Now, it's only applicable to the RAW file. But by the way, when you want to download a RAW file from the camera to your device, it's a few seconds. It's really quick, okay? They've really maximized the transfer speeds on this one. So once you download the RAW file, a bubble will pop up at the bottom of it called HNNR. That's the noise reduction. You don't have to turn it on, but if you turn it on, you have a couple options. One's a little bit more aggressive, one's a little bit more subtle, but they both do a fantastic job. Then from there, you tap it, within 10 to 15 seconds, it cleans up that 200 megabyte RAW image. And it does it maintaining a lot of the detail. Because here's the thing with noise reduction software, as I'm sure a lot of us know. Either you clean up the image and you lose detail, or you maintain detail and you still see a little bit of noise. Because Hasselblad is obviously designing the cameras and how these images are processed, and also this app, they can really maximize this in a way that is extremely impressive. And by the way, you can control the camera by putting it on a tripod. You can see the viewfinder. You can control it that way as well, like other apps out there. But these other added benefits really just unlock even more potential for the X2D and X2D II systems. So, oh, and by the way, guys, I know you've been looking at this camera, probably wondering what cage I have on this. This is from Falcon or Ulanzi. This is their X2D II cage. I believe it also fits the X2D. Covers all the edges, so any place you're gonna drop or hit it, it's gonna protect it. It's extremely well made. If you're gonna spend this much on a camera system and you wanna protect it, but you don't want something bulky, I mean, Falcon's got you covered on this one. And there's also a plate that you can put on the side here for, let's say if you want to mount it portrait on a tripod, you can do that. I took it off because I just usually do this handheld. But man, this is absolutely awesome. And by the way, you can put an air tag in here as well. I highly recommend picking this thing up. Falcon's just done a great job. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Like always, like, subscribe. Thank you for the support, and I will chat to you all very, very soon.